right, welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the article and video that I do for comicbookinvest.com, where I talk about those cheap books that you should just be aware of when you're flipping through those boxes, those dollar bins, $2 boxes, the cheap boxes, either at your LCS, flea market, or wherever you do your comic book hunting. Just some treasures that could be hidden out there that you may or may not be aware of already. Just trying to help you out and give you some more things to be mindful of. Keep it in your mental Rolodex. So when you're flipping through that box, you know what you're looking at. And you don't need to pull out your phone to go check an app or a list or anything like that. It's just the more you know, the better off you are. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as the rest of the stuff here on my channel. If you are, please let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you're interested in any merch, we do have some shirts, like for Dollar Bin Digging, as well as for the Dark Side Show on Sundays. So if you like Star Wars content, all this comic content that I'm putting out basically every day, and if you're interested in some shirts and things like that, you can check the links below for some interesting little products. There's even pint glasses and stuff like that. Again, no pressure. It's just there if you're interested. That all being said, hang on for a few seconds after the break, and I will be back with this week's books. Okay, so for this week, I thought, let's do a little bit something different. I know I've been doing a lot of theme things here and there. And again, I've covered a lot of books in my time doing this series. I mean, it's been like 3 years already that I've been doing Dollar Bin Digging. So I just want to let you know there's still stuff out there. Despite the number of books I've told you about over the last couple of years, there's still more stuff that you can be aware of and keep hunting. And this week, we're going to kind of focus in on some of the rumors and first appearances that might be coming in the coming months, if not years, as we have a lot of new, announcements and rumors hitting basically every day. So some of these are based on some of the rumors. Some of these are just first appearances of characters we know are actually coming. So these are some things you might still be able to find out there in those cheap boxes. So with that being said, let's go in with our first, rumor, because this one I think is a rumor that we have this character going to be showing up and possibly tying in with the X-Men. Killian Scott, the actor, is set to play the Skrull in Secret Invasion, and I think the Skrull's name is like Fix or something like that. I can't remember the actual character's name right at the moment, but in this book got hot for a while. It even made the Hot 10 list, and Buddy Ben Stein even made a good comment like, why is First Talos so cheap, but everybody's spending their money on this mutant Skrull type character? I don't know. But X-Men 95 is a book that you still might find in those dollar boxes. Many might have been picked clean already because, again, this book has been heating up since this announcement and even made the Hot 10 list last week on comicbookinvest.com. So it might be a tougher find, but that's not to say they're not out there because there's plenty of X books in those dollar boxes. And again, Fizz. All right, so Fizz. First Fizz is in this issue. And again, this is a Skrull character, which I guess it's a mutant Skrull character. I guess he would fit in with the X-Men, maybe tie in, or he could just be just a Skrull. There's not a lot of named Skrulls that people are aware of. So if they're doing Secret Invasion, they might just be reaching for anybody who they seem vaguely familiar to go with Talos and the other Skrulls we might get in that show. Who knows? Who knows where we're going? Again, this one, we can only really call it a rumor at this point because I don't think anything's been firmly confirmed. So we'll just stick with this rumor and say it's a possibility. So if you want to know, as I said, this book has been selling lately, so you can see plenty of $20 to $30 sales over the last look. These are all from November 1st. These were all from yesterday as I'm filming this. November 1st, a ton of sales, $20 to $30 for this book. I don't see it. I wouldn't spend that personally. Because, again, Talos isn't even selling for that much. And he's been around in multiple movies. So why would Fizz be the one you want to go throwing your money into? Not to say you don't pick it up if you find it at a dollar box or maybe even for cover price. Absolutely, I would say do that because you never know. It's still a first appearance. It's still something nice to have in your collection. But don't get caught up in the FOMO is all I'm saying. And if you want to see what's available right now, there's still FOMO priced, $15 to $25. 15, I guess, isn't terrible. I mean, it's not going to break your bank for spending that kind of money, but you just can't be spending $20 every week on whatever new character might be appearing in some optioned property or movie because you're eventually going to run out of money. So that's not how you want to spend all of your dollars. That's my suggestion, at least my recommendation. Just don't let FOMO grab a hold of you. If you want it, that's one thing. If Fizz is, for whatever reason, your favorite Skrull character, then why don't you own it already? That is my question to you. That all being said, it's your money. You do what you like with it. I'm just giving you a friendly piece of advice saying that personally, I wouldn't be buying it at these prices, which is why this is a dollar bin digging video and article. For $1, absolutely pick that up. And if you can sell it, go ahead. If somebody else wants to give you that money for it, that's up to them. That's their call as well. So moving on. We got another character to bring up here and talk about. And this is another book that got hot for a little while, and I think it's kind of been forgotten about. So you still might find it in some of those cheap boxes. As new collections come in, dealers don't remember to pull everything that got hot for like a couple of weeks or even a month or two. So these things somehow still come in. They still show up in these cheap boxes. So keep an eye out for it. And this is Spider-Man 76, I guess Peter Parker Spider-Man 76, which is the first appearance of Lucius Crown. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's a kind of a crazy name, Lucius Crown. The character's name, I believe, goes by the name of Hunger. And we just saw him, again, in the Morbius trailer just released this week. So this is why this is another book that might start seeing some heat again. So keep an eye out for it. Be aware that it's still out there, because I think it initially heated up when he was probably cast and announced who he was playing. Got cold, people forgot about it, and here we are again as this character of Lucius Crown, Hunger, being played by the Doctor, Matt Smith, the 10th Doctor. I'm a Doctor Who fan, so I do like Matt Smith. I think he's an excellent actor. Should be interesting. I don't know how I feel about this Morbius movie yet. It looks a little bit paint by numbers for most of the superhero movies we've gotten over the last couple of decades now, but I do like Matt Smith. I do like Jared Leto. It could be good. I will go in with an open mind. That all being said, this book, what's it selling for? Most recently, $15-20, but that $20 sale had an extra issue with it too. So it was like 2 for $20. So $15 is kind of like what it's selling for right now. And if you want to know what's available in case you don't feel like digging and looking for it in a cheap box and you want to go buy one outright, well, you can buy one for anywhere from $8 to $30. So still a wide range. Some of those $30 and higher priced ones are probably leftovers from the last time this book heated up. But like I said, we may see some movement again with the new trailer dropping this week, and as we get closer and closer to Morbius hitting the screens. So with that, we know this character is coming. Let's see what happens with that book, but just keep an eye out for it when you're digging in those, again, those cheap boxes, which is going to shift us back to a rumor. New rumor I read this week was that Moon Knight will introduce vampires in Blade. Well, I know you guys already know Blade. You're not going to find Blade's first appearance in a dollar box, the Tomb of Dracula, but vampires, who knows where they're going to go with this concept? Are we going to get Dracula? I don't know. Potentially. Or are we going to get some of Dracula's offspring? I'm not sure exactly what kind of stories they're going to tell, but the concept of these vampires not only could build upon in the horror corner of the Marvel universe, which I kind of hope they really build out, but realistically, Dracula and these vampires also tie pretty closely with the X-Men. Whether you go far back into the older X-Men run to the newer X-Men run, where the first few issues with the curse of the X-Men, they also dealt with these offspring of Dracula. And one that just kind of makes a lot of sense to me that they might kind of dive in if they don't want to deal with Dracula, because the regular movie-going audience might think it's kind of cheesy. Perhaps they go with, again, like I said, one of his offspring that was first introduced in The Death of Dracula, in this Heroic Age book, this one-shot. Pretty cool cover, honestly. And the one I'm talking about is Zerus, because Dracula does have a couple of offspring, but I think this is the third son. So Zerus is one that I think could be interesting. And this book does have a second print. If you weren't aware, there is a second print cover for this as well. Keep an eye out for that too, because people do like later printings. I do like the second print cover a little bit better because it doesn't have that Heroic Age border at the top. But hey, whatever you find, keep an eye out for it, is all I'm saying. You see here, killing his father. This could be an important character. It could be one that they decide to roll with in the MCU or Disney Plus. I don't know. I'm just guessing. There's nothing to base this off of other than pure speculation. So this is why it's fun to go digging into cheap boxes for stuff like this, because you never know what's going to happen. So keep an eye out for it. You never know. Not saying go paying full price or go investing all your hard-earned dollars. This is, if you find it for $1, just put it in your pile and see what happens. And if you're curious of what this thing's selling for right now, well, $10 one sold for. on October 26th. So not that long ago. One sold for $10, which is kind of impressive because I'm not sure a lot of people are looking for this book. But if you are shopping and you don't feel like digging for one, you can get it as cheap as $3 right now, or up to $15. So there you go. That's the kind of range of the asking prices right now for this book, this first appearance of Zerus. Now, our next book is going to be a tougher find for those dollar boxes, but I like to bring older books like this back into play because sometimes you do find this stuff, especially like on a flea market or a yard sale. I don't know, like an old consignment store, just weird places you might find books that's not a comic book shop. Some of the older books just get thrown in there because, I mean, nobody cares. So you might find things like this Creatures on the Loose, number 30, with this man-wolf cover. You know, I think it's a solo man-wolf story. But this comic is actually the first appearance of Simon Stroud, which is a character we know we are getting because we know who's cast to play him, and he's going to be again in that Morbius movie. We just saw the trailer, which is why this was fresh on my mind this week. So Tyrus is playing Simon Stroud, who is, you know, kind of a vampire hunter here. So it looks like he's more of a police officer, I guess, in the movie, but he technically is going to be hunting, I guess, Morbius and vampires, so he's still a vampire hunter. I don't know how it's going to play out in the movie, but this Simon Stroud character first appeared in this Creatures on the Loose number 30. So in case you stumble upon it, you hit some like Copper Bronze Age type stuff, like just be mindful of it so you know what you're looking at. Because while a lot of it isn't worth anything, some of them, and especially it's not like one of the huge books. We're not talking like first Ghost Rider or first Blade. This is first Simon Stroud. A lot of people aren't going to be aware that that's what this is and just sitting in a regular box. So if you're digging, you find it for cheap, this is the kind of thing I think you should be aware of and pay attention, to. Because even online, this thing's selling for a few dollars. I mean, you can see best offers on $25 and $130, depending on grade. Because again, this is an older book, so grade is going to be condition sensitive as far as pricing goes. But you can see this thing's selling. And if you want to know what's available right now, what are the asking prices? Well, the asking prices can be anywhere from like $30 up to nearly $100. Again, condition sensitive. It's an older book. Online, people are aware what this book is, so the price is going to be harder to, it's going to be harder to find a cheap one. But again, a lot of people don't know this book offhand. It's not like immediate, oh, hey, that's a major key. So this is the kind of stuff you might luck into while digging in a box. So that's why I bring it up. Not say you're definitely going to find it or anything like that. It's just be aware of what it is in case you see it. Which is going to take us to one more rumor. And I threw this one here at the end because I don't know how much credit we can give to this rumor, but it would be fun if it were true. And that's Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey to be playing Modok, a live-action Modok in the MCU. I could see it. And I think it would be great. While I did enjoy, but though I didn't finish the Hulu animated claymation type series or whatever you want to call it, I will finish it up eventually. I did enjoy it. I don't really think that fits the tone of the MCU completely, so a recast would make sense, as much as I love Patton Oswalt. But Jim Carrey, I think, would be one of the few who could pull off this giant head in a floating tiny body chair thing, whatever you want to call Modok. But it's a fun rumor. It is a fun rumor. And you're not going to find that Tales of Suspense in a dollar bin, so I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'm going to bring up is a series that I talked about before when that Hulu series was coming, and this is the Modok Assassin run, which is 5-issue run. I do see these out there for cheap. It's not an expensive run. It's kind of fun. A lot of bright colors. I dig the covers. There's a couple of incentives on issues 1 and 2 to be mindful of. I don't know. This is the kind of thing people might start looking at if Modok becomes a hit, because those older Modok books aren't as easy to track down. Just the thing to be, again, keep this in mind. Not to say that you're going to make like a ton of money if you find these books. It's just kind of for fun. And like I said, I've talked about this series already. So this is kind of a repeat from, I think, 2020 or 2019. I can't remember the last time I talked about this. But again, that was issue 1. Here's issue 2. It's in that Secret Wars time frame of the Marvel era. But you can see these are fun covers. Issue 3, we've got Angela with him. Issue 4. And then we wrap up the series with issue 5. Again, just a fun little run. So if you find them, why not? Right? For a few bucks, why not pick up the whole set if you can? Because that's what I'm going to look at here. The whole set could sell for $13. It's cheap. October 8th, $13. Granted, there's $30 shipping on this one, but the set still sold for $13. And if you're out there shopping and you want to buy the whole run, well, the whole run can cost you anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks. It's not expensive. As I said, it's not expensive right now. But if you find them in cheap boxes, it could just be a fun little pickup. You never know. And again, I don't know if Modok's coming. I don't know if Modok's going to be Jim Carrey, but that's the rumor. That's what's kind of fun. So these are the kind of things that, yeah, just for a goof, I would throw in my pile as I'm picking up dollar books. Because sometimes you just, well, let me just get the 10 bucks. Like, and there's not a lot of things to grab. And this is the kind of stuff I would pad my pile with. It's just for fun. So that all being said, hopefully you like this run, these options that I've thrown out at you this week. These are all just based on some rumors and a few characters we know that are coming in that Morbius movie. We've seen them cast. Their books might have heated up at one time, but now they've kind of cooled down once again. So now might be the time to once again go kind of look for them. You never know. You never know what you're going to find in those cheap boxes. So there's nothing wrong with having the information and knowing what covers to look for. And hopefully you appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys taking the time. Thank you for stopping by, checking out the video, reading the article on comicbookinvest.com. I will be back with some more content very soon. So just let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as I said, please keep telling your friends to keep growing this channel because I'm having fun doing this stuff. And hopefully you're having fun going through these videos and things with me. And with that said, I will see you guys next time.